Alright, so welcome back to DOREEN'S African Experiences, and this is supposed to be our third video in line with the construction of our 3-bedroom house. So our step right now is the cost of plastering and closing this particular house. Now this is what you have to understand. I'm going to give you about 7 terms that are used in plastering that most people are very confused about. By the way, I've been waiting since morning and I traveled. There is nothing I can do. I have to make the content. All the content has to be made. It's a time thing. Usually between the weekdays I'm extremely busy, so I try to shoot now. Most of the content I need throughout the week, I try to shoot it over the weekends. I mean, I have other things I do. I love this. It's therapeutic, but I also have other things that I do. Kati, when you see me hiding my book inside here, it's not that I'm hiding it away from you. I'm hiding it from rain. See, here we go. Not here we are. All right. Now, there are things I've noticed in my dear country that people do, and they are not explaining to you people who are actually paying for these services why they are doing them. So I'm going to take time and actually explain some of these things for you. What am I supposed to do here? Explain. May I explain how? You see, plastering, yeah? There are rules to plastering, just like there are rules to everything in life. Building is engineering. When you're plastering, they'll tell you that it should be 1 inch of plaster. Like this, work at 1 inch of plaster. 1 inch of plaster. It is small. Now, yeah, there are things that are going to determine whether you're going to get 1 inch of plaster or more than 1 inch of plaster. I want to explain these things specifically so that you understand where I'm coming from. When your house is being constructed, there are things that will force a builder that you've contracted to do certain things. And even if they explain for you, material, but I'm telling you, this is the reality of construction. When people are building your house, you see the mortar. The mortar is your mix jebateka wakati wa matafali. You see the mix between those 2 bricks, a chizigata. In the construction language, you call it mortar. If someone is building to combine these 2 bricks or blocks, whatever you've decided to use, they have to clean both sides. I'm serious. When they combine the blocks like this, they have to come behind the block and clean whatever material is protruding. Material ya yitako, gola banti ya yitako kutafali off the level of a brick or a block. By no kumuse nako, nebakawe weta. It has to be smooth. Nga woyisa ko olugalo wot. Toina choko nako no lyokato chibuka teno da kutafali dala. It has to be on the same level. That's why we build with a spirit level, plumb bob. Alright, these 2 things are meant to give us the level of the house. Are we following? So, both behind and inside. You will find people building when outside the wall looks so smooth, so clean. But when you go inside, there is mortar protruding, extra mortar protruding, yeah, inside. Nga chinene chizimbye bizimbye webiti biringa kisenge kirina kiringa embalabe, as if it's a sick wall. It is a sick wall, and it's going to cost you. How? When you reach the point of plastering, how do you avoid this? Get people who are fully trained, people, and be very straight. Don't be building and people think you don't know what you're doing. I know we are going to do many videos to plastering, but I want you to understand, for every video I produce, there is new information. But there is extra information, there is new information. Kati, this is where the material is going to become more for you and less for other people. You hear people saying, I hear it is cheaper to plaster a wall that was constructed with 9-9. Do you know why they say that? They say that simply because the 9-9 block comes out. And first of all, they are bigger. That's number one. Number two, when someone is trying to put mortar between them, it's not too much mortar. It's really little. Also, people are more careful when building those blocks. Are we following? It's very rare to find someone building with 9-9 or 6-inch, 8-inch, 9-inch blocks and they are, you know, leaving mortar protruding out. No, most people are usually more careful with them. Why? And the other thing is they're smoother. They have a smoother surface. Now, two things. Even those people will still incur plastering costs almost as heavy as you, who is using small bricks. At the end of the day, the math doesn't lie. The circumference of the wall, or the height, the length, whatever, when you do the math, all right, the things that are extra, that make it more expensive, are usually the mortar that is protruding, because these guys are not going to have time. When your wall was built and the mortar is protruding out of the wall area surface, they are supposed to cut it. They're supposed to go inch by inch of your house, cutting off this protruding plaster. But do they do that? They don't have time for that. What are they going to do? They are going to get a mix of plaster and sand and throw it on the wall, right? Until it covers whatever mortar is protruding, right? And then for them, they are going to get their square surface based on the amount of mortar they put. That's why you'll find certain houses that the 1 inch ngeitako nga baina almost 3 inches of plaster on one wall, 2 inches on one wall. What causes that? And because of that, you are going to end up spending more. So me, I'm giving you calculations, but you have to put certain things in mind. That is my wall, was my building done right? It could have been done right, but was it correctly done? Is the mortar on level? Ochiwulira. But I know this makes sense for you. Another thing that might incur you extra costs. You have constructed with soil bricks. Ompulira, soil bricks. Clay bricks not so much, because clay bricks have an element of spitting out water quickly. Soil bricks, if you build your house and leave it there, enkuba nechikuba for some time, ogenda kulabanga amatafali agaliko galinga gazizemu obunya, galinga nga oba aganabye. Omanyi okunaaba, like when you're doing mechanism and they tell you nti oba emipiira gyanabye, kitegeeza nti gyaweddeko enjola. Oba buno bunati bwanabye, kitegeeza nti busobola kukwata. Kati the form, I'm going to show you some of those bricks because I see them here. The further you expose your building to rain, it's going to become weaker. This is also happening to concrete blocks that were not done to standards. Either you will find them, the further they are exposed. Remember the mechanism you people had when you build with 9-9 blocks, even if you don't plaster? Shame on you. You will plaster. The rain has that effect, especially when a wall has been stacked together. The blocks or bricks do not have the same strength. Why? Because they are providing support to each other, and that makes them a little bit weaker. That's why we put a good mortar between to maintain their strength. But we are following. If you are not following, please ask. If you're not understanding what I'm saying, also ask. Omiri, if you don't know I'm coming. But people, all these things, so when people are plastering, the plaster that's going to go into your walls to fit those gaps that have been chipped away, they might seem so small, but as long as they're being chipped away by rain, you have to fill them. And what do you use? In this particular case, we are using our plaster. All right? Kakati, I'm also now muchitegedde. So for me, the calculations I'm giving you, I'm giving them for people who have no problems. For people who did right construction, the plastering guy is not going to come and start chipping the wall. No one has time. You're building a 3-bedroom house and you want people to chip wall by wall. How much are you paying them? In construction, every stage of construction affects the next stage, either positively or negatively. And when it affects you negatively, it costs you more money. For example, if you finish building your house, these are things you're supposed to do next before you plaster. Put in your door frames. Why? Bagenda kuja bateme ebisenge to fit in those door frames. Ekisenge kiteme ng'obudde bukyali batekemu enzigi. Owulira nga tonakuba plaster. Teme ekisenge and put in your conduits ez'amasanyalaze. If you're building you have a balcony, tolinda kuyiwa slab ate okomewo oteme mb'otekamu conduits babasomeseza. Put your conduits. Conduits are those black pipes zebayisamu waya z'amasanyalaze. Oyulira. Kola plan ya plumbing before you plaster. Understand or plumber mulete aisemu pipe ezo before you plaster. And when they are putting these pipes, make sure batema ne bayingira mu kisenge and they level it nti ne waba akubyeko akasenyu tekayita ku kisenge, pipe teri ku kisenge, erina kuba munda mu kisenge. All these things will affect you plastering wise. Me, I'm seriously telling you, I've seen these things. You get an electrician, but kisenge chikaluba, bafune nsululu, bateme kisenge. Owulira, they pass those conduits through. Era making sure nti woyitawo pipe eri munda mu kisenge era webanga eri kungulu mugambe sebo kijeyo temako munda okiyingize ate sibagambye kumenya atemenga tayita mu kisenge completely, just to enough size. Chobola baba kugamba these pipes have sizes. There are sizes that will go to certain bisenge. Owulira togenda kuzimba block aweti nga tozimbye kisenge kya mwendo ogenda ogule gu pipe ogunene ogenda guteekawo. Understand what you have, budget, and look for what you need, not what you don't need. Don't just buy things. I'm not giving you cheap prices of wiring. Wiring. Wiring for plumbing and electricity. I've done a video on this. But the further I go within these videos, I include new things. Why? Because there are people who are doing the Katena Nyumba 3-bedroom house. There are things that are inevitable. Previously, I told you the choice of iron sheets that I personally chose to use in that particular roofing video was Cover Max and Super Eco. Olina ngamba mbungambye versatile wa mitwale na simanya mwemeka mubijawa. You people listen, if you don't understand, ask before you make assumptions. You can use versatile, you can use Super Eco, you can use all those things. You also want to take a kamategula. But I've gone and done specific videos of these prices of these things. Please take your time. Here, you've seen people who say BOQ. Abamute mumanche chitegeza. Yeah? Nze wembanku wadde BOQ. Kube gende kendere kitabo kyange kifulumeyo. Sati. Owulira BOQ buli wokalaba bakiyita bill of quantities wekagwayo. So don't be there ngomuntu ate namwe abakolera abantu ebintu bino mubanyonyole. Don't just do things for people to confuse them. Yeah? Now I see people asking, Baba wa quotation is a plastering. They are saying, but you need lake sand. You need lake sand. Eta kunyonyode rachi you need lake sand. Yeah? Ya kugamba bugambi you need lake sand. Lake sand. Ngenda kutukayo. These prices won't take us long. Ngenda kuangua. I'm quick, but I want you to understand what you're dealing with first. Because as Ugandans, we are passive people. Not all of us, okay. But the biggest percentage of us are passive people. Which to itam biite. Nete tubitegeera. Bakiwulira. Era nange nina byesitegeera. Era wenkyogera ng'olaba kikyamu ngamba, but half the time ngenda okubayimirira mu maaso wano nga nkoze research. Owulira. So me when I give you a bill of whatever quantities or a bill of material that you need, I've not put certain things in consideration. That's why I come and explain to you. Look out for these things. Omusajja omusanga amaze okuba plaster atajjukira okuyisaamu conduits mu kisenge. Ate amala aguleyo obusawo bwa seminti bubiri addemu adda akole plaster. Ogenda abeera n'ekisenge nga kiri uneven. Wetubagambako nga mugamba tubakambuwalira mutusonyiwe. Naye naffe bitusukkako. You can reach someone's house ne kikugwako. Please do research. Mulekera okuwuliriza aba engineer bammwe bokka. Do research. Si buli muntu eyeeyita engineer nti ali engineer. N'abo abantu basoma naye ku musomero tuyitamu buyisi. Kati kankubuulire, there are people who studied. Do you know why we have internships? Nti ng'omuntu amaze okusoma, for example, medical people. Bwe bamala okusoma, they have internship. Do you know how long that is? They can do internship for almost 2 years. Ngali intern naye ng'asomye obusawo emyaka giri gyonna. Why? Because they want them to be in the field basooke bategeere ekintu. Kubanga we have what we call a theoretical kind of education. Emintu tubisoma busomi tetubikola practically. N'osanga engineer nga omuteeka ku site tasobola kutuuza nnyumba ku site. Naye nga bw'omubuuza information mu mutwe agirina. But they can't physically apply it on ground. And these are people who have studied for over 5 to 6 years. Balina n'ebipapula ebiraga nti ba engineer. Kati gwe n'ogenda n'omuwa site yo. N'osanga omusajja ng'aludde mu kuzimba myaka 10 ng'asobola otuuza ennyumba naye nga talina na kipapula kya engineering. Babuulira. In certain areas, experience is the best teacher. Eba tuzalawa. And it's okay. Naye mbabuulira amazima, stop these things of following titles. Mono engineer. Engineer wawa. Akulage ku bizimbe byazimbye. Don't just hire people. Akugambe nti nazimba kino nazimba kiri okiyitemu. Genda okiyitemu mugambe wano nga wakyama. Bino nga wabituuza bubi. You see these houses on the outside, woziyingira munda zimalamu amaanyi. Nyombye nnyo naye si mu bubi. Si mu bubi. Okiwulira, I don't want to just give you prices. I want to give you knowledge that goes with these prices. Anyone can give you a price. But you people, there are things we see. Nechikugwako. And these are people who are working hard for their money. Nogenda kucheyo, no kubecheyo, no kola sentezo, no ziwereza engineer, nakolera ebintu ebitaliimu. Nakuzimbira ekisenge. Nakolera plaster nga tataddemu waterproof. Oba wakayingira ennyumba ng'ennyumba ennyogoga. Ennyumba etandisa amazzi galinnya ebisenge, biyubuka. Naye nga wateekamu ssente, ate nga ssente entuufu. Mwe musindika abaganda bammwe mu byalo eyo mbu bababeerere ku site. You people, these people don't know. Use people, employ people, muyiga okufulumya ssente. Employ people who actually know. Okubeera ku site buli omu asobola okikola. Naye omuntu abadde ku site kya byalaba abitegeera. Omuntu ali ku site yo bakutabulidde obusawo eggaali 6 mu kasawo. Oweereza ssente za gaali mmeka? Gaali 3. Ono ya afa kulaba nti bazimba. Most of them even connive with these engineers or builders to rob you. Oyo mugagga alina ssente ali ku kyeya ajja kuweereza. Kiri nti ekizimbe bakirabako. Kati tebakyababba nga luli nti bazirya ne batabazimbira. Kati babazimbira. Ebizimbe ne mubiraba. Naye ng'omanye kiri mu kizimbe ekyo. Oba okyebase wayiseewo omwaka nga kikugwira. Ebyembi bisekera. Ambawe prices mbaviire. Baina mwe mujja kunzijemize. But I'm telling you, things are happening. Yeah? Things are happening. These things of you people trusting your relatives who have no idea what they are seeing. Bambi ayinza n'okuba takubye. Naye nga n'ebyala batabitegeera yafa kulaba. Bazimbyeko leero. Ne seminti tebamubbye. Naye nga seminti bazimbye biki? Anyway. Plastering has 2 sections. When we are plastering inside, the job is different than when we are plastering outside. Now, there are 2 sections of plastering. Someone can plaster for you and they don't do finishing for you. The price is different. And if someone is plastering for you and they do finishing for you, finishing is even to be a money. Finishing is simple. Drawing bucons, smanya designs, nothing important. Yeah? Bucons or do you know what cons are? Have you seen those ceilings now in Uganda? After building, plastering the pattern kokuba mobu design, nimbo simanya center flower, bichi. Simple stuff. Ebyo baita finishing it. Achulira. On the outside neba kubako buno ngenda kubalaga. Buli awo bulinga bulayinira ine cube. Mukama ngera balina bukolera awo. Kati oli ajja kubba mbusimanya nze ngenda plastering ne sigenda kola finishing. Okankano gambe finishing. Finishing, oh, because you hear the word finishing, plastering itself is a finishing job. Once your walls have been plastered, all right, only finishing about art just for example, once you pour that column, yeah, in a column in nebo chileka onga cha sako wechitera chitambula naye oli ajagamba finishing ebigambo mubiwulira nete mumanche bitegeeza abantu ajja naleetayo obulula awo nakubamu obulayini ate balwawo atera kusaba sente nyingi nabeera kwaka akantu olunaku lulamba akoze pira ejo bwakuba layini simanya kola finishing Musonyiwe banange, let me give you prices, yeah. Now the reason most of these people ask for plastering, for leg sand, is to use it on the outside. Kati, follow me. Inside, when you're plastering your walls inside, you just need plaster sand. Even outside, you just need plaster sand. But the reason they ask for leg sand is because when you're plastering outside, it's called rendering. It's not called plastering. But in the construction world, outside, when you're putting your plaster outside, it's called rendering. And the reason we render is because of the weather. Until outside, wind is blowing against them. We put that lake sand, and even me, I wouldn't even recommend lake sand. But it's up to you. But me, I would recommend when you're buying plaster sand, there is that plaster sand they wash. Plaster mosaic. They wash it. They wash it and take out any element of clay and stay with only the grain. You see that? So the maximum sand you should be having is plaster sand. Then lake sand, and make sure you don't get lake sand with big grains. Grains is amayinja amanene. Yeah? Please. And also make sure your plaster sand is very clean. Alright? Clean how? Jukira. Plaster sand is excavated from swampy areas. Ebisalu simanya bilala kigambo kye kiralawo. Mwebaja plaster sand. Plaster sand doesn't come from far. It shouldn't be that expensive. Even in your backyard, because Uganda is gifted like that. Let me give you prices. So if you're going to plaster your 3-bedroom house, in particular this house that I use the measurements for, you're going to require 60 bags of cement. 60 bags of cement. For every bag of cement, calculate a bag of waterproof. When you mix 1 bag of cement, add that bag of waterproof. Cement is at 33,000 shillings right now. Waterproof is at 5,000 shillings maximum. Kabaka bag katono nnyo. Mulimu companies zenjawulo ezibukola. This is Kablu. I've showed you, if you look through my videos, mujabulawa. So 65 bags of cement, 65 bags of waterproof, and this cement is enough to plaster for you 1 inch both inside and outside. You're going to need eucalyptus scaffolding, but in simple terms, to make ladders. Because when they are going to plaster, especially the ceiling, so they have to elevate themselves. They need eucalyptus for that. And if you already have eucalyptus that you've been keeping on site, then just add a few, maybe 10. Our eucalyptus is at 5,000 shillings at most. Owulira togula miti gya masanyalaze. Gula akalituusi gosobola okolamu amadaala. Asobola okuba 4,000, 4,500, even at 3,500. Oh, I told you how to make relationships with people in business. Well, what dayoba gulako consistently, they be lenient with you. Alright? Then you're going to need plaster sand. Now, I've given you 3 box bodies. Box bodies, mujazi riba. Those are jebaita forward yechirengo. You need 3. Box bodies, nabanyonyola, it's just a forward truck that they build behind bajizimbira. Bajizimba ne kabanga ka box. Era mu construction abasinga bakaita ka box in the local terms. Don't buy elf ngozimba 3-bedroom house. Ogenda kukoma wango gula elf. Okujako, if your road is really bad, then buy the sand in bulk, then ofuneka elf akagukutusiza ku side, because that happened to me sometime. But, and by the way, anyway, to very box body of plaster, buy 3 box bodies of plaster sand and 2 forward trucks of lake sand or the washed plaster sand. For me, the washed plaster sand is my recommendation. Or your plaster mosaico. Or your plaster mosaico, the grain is good. It can do the job. Or your why? The weather issues. And also akwata na nywera wabali wabweru kubanga there is a lot of forces, nature itself. So box body is gonna cost you around 450,000 shillings to 500,000 shillings. Bw'oba osasula plaster ya box body ng'osuka emitwalo 5 oba oli mu nsi ki naye nze Uganda gye mmanyi oli wagamba plaster ng'asuka emitwalo 45 owa box body. Noonya omulala akuguze bintu si bya mpaka. Then forward plaster truck of forward plaster sand, a forward truck is 280,000 shillings. You multiply that by 2. Then 450 you multiply by 3. Now plaster, we've talked about waterproof. Water itself, you need water on site. Put aside 50,000 for water. Tools sigenda ziddam. Wheelbarrow jetaaga. Wait ebidomola ebisale wabigula dda. Why should I repeat those things? Woba tewabigula ddayo ogula ebidomola naye nze sigenda byogerako. Keep your material safe on site, otherwise you'll be buying them over and over again. The rest of the tools abazimbi bajja nabyo. Owulira? Bajja nabyo. You don't have to buy for them. Kubanga teri muzimbi agenda kuba plus anatajja nabyo agenda kozesa. At least for Uganda. Or then ebisigadde obobina, you have the other tools from the beginning of construction. Kati the total for labor, if the people are going to plaster for you, all right, if they are feeding and transporting themselves, if they are plastering for you and you are feeding them, gwengagwe nga ate tebagenda kukola finishing. They are plastering for you and they are also doing the finishing job for you. Alright? But you are the one feeding them and transporting them or housing them, depending on what you prefer. The total of labor should be at least that you give them should be 2,200,000 shillings. But if they are feeding themselves and transporting themselves, plastering for you and doing finishing for you, then put aside 2,500,000 shillings. That's 2.5. Second alternative, if they are plastering for you, finishing you don't want designs, you don't want anything, they're just plastering, and you are feeding them. And you are feeding them, all right? And also transporting them, you should pay them 1.5 million Ugandan shillings. Yes. No finishing, you're feeding them and transporting them, 1.5. Only waba kubye nnyo 1.6 naye mama plaster. And this is inside and outside banamwe. Kati, if they are doing everything except finishing, berisa, betambuza, and they are not doing finishing, but they are plastering for you, then put aside 1.8. All right, 1.8 million Ugandan shillings for a 3-bedroom house. Then, if you don't have money, but you want to plaster, there is another alternative. Go and plaster room by room. Sokira munda. Tunuulire ekisenge obuuze olunaku abafundi babiri, those are masons, 2 masons, one helper. Bagenda ku plaster kano bagenda ka plastering enaku meka. Owulira, they said 2 days. Then you pay them a regular construction fee. Until the masons will take probably 25,000 to 30,000, and the helper will take 15,000 shillings. You can go room by room. Naye biba bigenda kumenya. Biba bigenda kumenya. Kati wotuka wawero oba obala otya awo simanyi. Oba omalaira n'oba patana. Kati total for plastering alone. Now, if you are plastering your 3-bedroom house, both inside and outside, ceiling inclusive, finishing and columns or pillars, babukozeko designs, this is your total. All right? And your people are feeding themselves and transporting themselves. Your total should be 7,555,000 Ugandan shillings. If they are doing everything for you, and they've done finishing, they've done bichi now what's the time called? Enkuba ebadde etonya nesikuzukusa. But if you are the one feeding them, transporting them, but they are also plastering and doing your finishing, the total, if you are the one doing everything for them, what I mean by everything is feeding and transporting them, your total should be 7,255,000 Ugandan shillings. All right. Then, if they are not doing finishing, hey, these numbers, if they are not finishing, but you're feeding and transporting them and they are plastering, your total should be 6,555,000 shillings. But if they are feeding themselves, transporting themselves and plastering, but they are not finishing, or they are not doing finishing, yeah, your total should be 6,855,000 shillings. And this is a 3-bedroom house. Kati plaster to move deco. Now we are progressing into closing. When you hear closing the house, those are doors and windows, yeah? Thank you. Kati, first of all, every room you hear has a door. Sorry, actually has a window. The living room, Edido, has a window. The 3 bedrooms have a window. Me, I'm doing math for one window. For you who want 2 windows on your bedroom, this house is very big. All right? And the house being big, I'm giving the windows, I'm giving them big windows. All right? Katsi, these are the doors I'm giving them. The door at the entrance, obviously, it is going to be an 8x8 window. 8x8 window, no? An 8x8 window. Sorry, an 8x8 door. The door frame of the door itself is 1.5 millimeters. Those are gauges. And then the burglars that come within that door are 1.2 millimeters of thickness. That door will cost you 1.6 million Ugandan shillings. Kakati, you can even get it more expensively or slightly cheaper. I told you, it is up to you. Sweet talk these people, negotiate with them and get a good deal. but for me that's what I know. That's the price for an 8 by 8. Then as for the windows, remember we gave the kitchen a window, we gave the living room a window, we gave the 3 bedrooms each a window. So we have 5 windows. Kati these 5 windows, being that it's one window and they are big, all right, I'm giving them a window that is 4 by 5. 4 by 5, right? 4 by 5 Katikankwe prices is at different windows. They have 4 by 4, 4 by 3, 4 by 5 and 4 by 6 windows. A window of 4 by 3 is 280,000 shillings. And these are without glass. It's just with the door. You know those metallic doors? I did a video on that. Please revisit and get the more details. A window of 4 by 3, these are sliding windows. A window of 4 by 3 is 280,000 shillings. A window of 4 by 4 is 350,000 shillings. A window of 4 by 5 is 450,000 shillings. And a window of 4 by 6 is 550,000 shillings. You can negotiate a lower price if you understand what you're buying. Nayenze nkuwadde general prices for these different sizes. So you can decide and say, me I want a 4 by 4 window. Naye jjukira balina okukizimba nga already baze bakizimbye. Don't just make it up nga you've reached the stage of purchasing windows. Come from the house plan with this plan that you want 4 by 4 windows or 4 by 5. Don't just dream it and it happens. It can happen. So you have interior doors. Inside your house you have the 2 toilets. In this house we have 2 toilets. So those are 2 wooden windows, 2 wooden frames. Then you have 3 bedrooms. Those are 3 wooden doors, 3 wooden frames. All right, door frames cost different and the doors also cost different. Put these door frames before plastering. Also, even if they are wooden, they can be cleaned and then repainted later. You will see me in the video of painting. I'll add that paint. Even for the metallic doors, I'll add super gloss there. For the color, you choose a color that you want, a color for your what? A color for your doors or whatever you want. That's what you paint. Don't get a new color to add to a color that was sprayed. When you're buying doors and windows, make sure these people spray a color that you want, so that after plastering and painting, you're just using a brush to paint over. But you cannot use a brush to paint over another color. They need to spray it. Okay? Okay. Now, these are prices of different door frames. I've made a video for this, but I am going to repeat it again. We have Movule doors, we have mahogany doors, we have Musizi, Elgontic or Musambia. Those fall in the same category. The only different ones are mahogany and Movule. Have you seen those doors that are slightly black? They are wooden, but they're like black, almost black, dark brown. So if you watch, I made a video on the current prices of doors, inside doors, or house doors. You'll go there and spot the differences in these things. I explained them very well. But for me, I'm going to choose a Musizi, Elgontic or Musambia door to put inside the house because it's more affordable. But I put the prices there. Okay, let's do the totals. Hey, I've also done for you a video on aluminium. So you can be there and you want aluminium doors and windows. Remember, in aluminium, 1.2 millimeters in Dubai profile, a square meter is 430,000 shillings and Euro profile is 450,000 shillings. Also watch that video and learn how to calculate those square meters of doors and windows, and then come with your own total afterwards. All right, now I'm going to do totals for doors and windows that you need in the house. The only total you have so far is the main door. All right, so wooden doors of Musizi. It can be that the door can be made from Musizi tree, Musambia tree or Elgon teak tree or any other tree. Yeah? Those trees are a bit easier to find. They don't take many years to grow. That's why they are cheaper. The frames are going to be 5 because we have 5 doors that we are trying to put doors on inside the house. So the current price of a Musizi wooden door frame is 230,000 shillings. So you get the 230,000 shillings and multiply by 5. If you don't want Musizi, you want mahogany, go look for the price of mahogany door frame, which is 450,000 shillings each. And then Muvula is 350,000 shillings each. Then you multiply by the number of doors you have. I've also made a video on that. It's there. Well, so you're going to end up buying door frames worth 1,150,000 shillings. Then the doors themselves for Musizi, Elgontik or Musambia. Yeah, those ones are a lighter brown. If you want to know how they look, they are lighter brown. Transparent, but their color is a bit lighter. Each of those is going to cost you 350,000 shillings. All right, so you get 350,000 shillings and multiply by 5. You're going to end up getting 1,750,000 shillings for those doors. Then the windows I've taken 4 by 4. Yeah, 4 by 4 we said is 350,000 shillings. So you get your 350,000 shillings and multiply by 5. We have 5 big windows on the house. Okay? And you're going to end up getting a similar amount, 1,750,000 shillings again. Then the front door is 1,600,000 shillings. That's the money I've taken. But depending on how you negotiate, especially if you're taking the windows as well, they can give you a slighter price. Now I tell don't overbargain okunyigiriza abantu bannange tubere serious. I tell you want to support someone and take them out of business. So always look for prices that benefit you and also omuntu omulekerayo kasente, so that you don't completely push people to the wall or push them out of business. It's not right. Kati the back door, oba what you call olujire manju, that's the back door. That door should not cost you more than 350,000 shillings, even if you pick a half door or a full steel door. Half door yeyonga wansi metal, up there is like a glass and you see them a lot. Or you can get a solid steel door. Wobobera mu kibire, you get a solid steel door. Toteekako ndabirwamu ezo mabegeeyo jotalaba. Now, put aside 2 bags of cement because when they're fitting, bajja kusaba ku cement. Ku site already wabaawo omusenyu. So the bags of cement is 33,000 shillings, so multiply that by 2. Put aside 200,000 shillings miscellaneous. When you're buying these doors from one person, make sure they are fitting for free. Only pay transport. Be serious. Tell them the price, the money we've agreed, mugenda zinteeramu. Bayino zikuteeramu. Nga tobawadde yadde ekikumi gwe kasoba wa transport waabwe. Alese nzigi. And if you're far, if you're near, also go further and negotiate. Like the aluminium guys, for them they'll transport for you and fit for you on that same amount. Even metal guys can do that, but at the end of the day, it depends on oliwa. Oyinza okuba oli eri jinja, omusajja omujje Kampala oyagala kuleetere bwereere, tubeere bantu bakulu. Uganda. By the way, I'm here convincing people to bargain. Even Ugandans can bargain. They don't need reminder, they know. Alright? Okay, so our totals are going to be very simple. And also don't forget to put aside 500,000 shillings for glasses, just in case ziberewo. Don't put glasses in your doors until you've finished painting, simanya, plastering, bichi. After all that, take a glass. It should be the very last thing you do. Same thing if you're buying aluminium doors and windows. Glassy, bulbs, bichi byebisemba. Abaana bajja kuyiwa paint ku glass. Odemo ogule glass. Glasses and everywhere. So your total is going to be for closing the house. Your total is going to be 7,166,000 shillings. Oba munabi jukira. Woba ina chota jukira daima begoddemu ndabe. Kubanga byonna mbyogeddeko. I hope we've picked something at least, right? I know sometimes I can be a little bit all over the place, but I make sense. I know I make sense because I make sense to myself. The prices I've given you are proven and fully researched. For Uganda, we shall do content all over East Africa and the rest of Africa, but katutandikire waka home is best and it's cheaper. Sinatandika kufuna kusente ku YouTube. Already ntekamu nyingi kati ate we natandika okufuluma Uganda mwagala nzive. So thanks for watching my content. Don't forget to subscribe, share this information with your friends. Hey, baweko tokodowalira kubanga nange temuli siri bakodowalira. Nange ndiba wa information. Fena tuyitewo. Ate era nange we mulaba obulango, the ads that are on the videos nange mfuna ekikumi. Sinafuna yadde ekikumi, but at least they're counting, so that's good. Eh? At the end of the day, jokes aside, thank you guys. Thanks for supporting me. Thanks for watching me. Thanks for all the love. I get a lot of love from here and I don't take that for granted. I love you all so much. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. We're going to paint and what? And put tiles. Atena kuzimba information what tiles nange need. See ya. Kakati, this is the likes of what Bibaba Gamba finishing. It looks like that. You know, drawing those blue lines, putting these blue things on the wall sides, then putting the cones inside. So that's what finishing looks like. Eh? Drawing these blue cones. These are what they call cones. Eh? Those blue things. So you can have different designs really in your house. You're going to be right after finishing, but dear. If you didn't know, like that. Normally they'll go a day, not shooting a video and all.